To celebrate collecting over 100 vinyl records, I decided to do a little countdown of sorts to see who dominates in my collection. Who am I the most favorable towards as far as artists go? This is about how many I've collected out of this collection. Like how many albums are to a particular artist, not how much of their discography have I collected. No, I can't do that. Especially when it comes to things like live albums, singles, rarities, compilations. I couldn't bring myself that far, even for my favorites. So, we're gonna count down the top 3 artists that I have collected so far in vinyl format. At number 3, and this one came to me as a surprise, was The Who. It was something that I realized over collecting the past couple of months. I just happened to be getting more Who records along with other ones, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot more than just 1 or 2 albums that I thought I would originally pick up. Now, there's 7, but it's an asterisk, and it probably should be closer to 5. I'm going to go through that in just a second. So the first one we have here is The Who Live at Leeds. Okay, that's a live album. It's from The Who. That makes sense. However, it's only one of the 2 discs of Live at Leeds. So it's like half complete. I don't know if that's really great. I don't know how much of that you want to count because it's not the full thing, but it's there nonetheless. Then we've got Who's Next, Quadrophenia, Tommy, the double album of Magic Bus and My Generation, though it takes up only the space of a single album. I'm grateful for that. And then Quadrophenia again. So, again, here's the other asterisk. It's like, does this count or does it not? This is a soundtrack from the film that is based on the album. However, most of the album is here on the soundtrack. Like, maybe a little bit different with some versions of it here and there, maybe different takes or demos or such, but they are still the same songs. You can see most of the names here say The Who. So, I kind of want to consider it a Who album on its own, but it's a soundtrack and it does have other artists, so it could be a compilation. It could be a various artists kind of thing. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this one counts? Up next at number 2, we have Van Halen. Now, this had to happen. I am a huge Van Halen fan. I love the David Lee Roth era, and I even like some of the Sammy Hagar era stuff too. Even Sammy Hagar's solo stuff. I really enjoyed that as well. Chickenfoot and so on. So there are 8 records, 8 albums in here. We have Diver Down, 5150, OU812, 1984. I almost forgot it for a second because of the Roman numerals. Women and Children First, Van Halen 2, Van Halen 1, and recently added Fair Warning. Now, that's not one that comes around, at least from what I can tell, in my area that often. So that was a fun one to pick up. I actually really do like this one. I know a lot of people panned it, but I think there's a lot of fun with this one. If you think of it as like, if you take Little Dreamer and Atomic Punk from the first album and make them the entire album, that's basically what Fair Warning is. It's fun. I enjoy it. Now, normally in a countdown of sorts, there would be an honorable mentions right before getting to number 1. And in this case, there really isn't any because a bunch of the other ones are tied at 2 albums, sometimes 3 albums, sometimes 4 albums, and might be better served in a separate video. But we're going to get to number 1. 10% of the collection that I have is comprised of the Beatles. But it's about which Beatles albums are in here that I find more fascinating. Though I would like to collect more of them, let's take a look through what I have currently. We have Yesterday and Today, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Rubber Soul, both versions of Revolver from the US and the UK, Let It Be, Help, but it's the soundtrack version. I would like to get the album version at some point. The UK version's awesome. The soundtrack version of Hard Day's Night, I'm not sure yet if I want to get the original, the UK one, maybe, if it comes up, if it's in my travels. And White Album, Abbey Road, and last but not least, the Blue Album, 1967 to 1970. This is 11 Beatles albums. This is making up, like I said, about 10% of my entire vinyl record collection. And that's awesome. I mean, it makes the most sense because there are a lot of releases of Beatle albums. There are a lot of Beatles albums in general, but there are also a lot of Capitol releases, compilations or movie soundtracks, regional differences that makes sense between them, excuse me. But I'm still happy with it. I still enjoy the Beatles. They're a very influential band, and it does not dismiss any of the other ones all throughout here. Just because there's one or two from a certain artist does not mean that they aren't a huge artist that I like, or that they made a huge impact or anything like that. I mean, Elton John is up here, and there's only two from him, but one of them's a compilation. It has like a lot of great songs to it, and the other one, yeah, pretty much the entire album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, is a banger. It's worth it, very worthwhile. Not to mention, there's also a lot of these artists that I have with some form of compilations, whether it's singles compilations or greatest hits or something like that. Their music has transcended from many different albums, but it is nice having it as a complete package. So I still am glad that I have a lot of variety of music within here, of all different artists, of all different ages, of all different decades. And I look forward to seeing what comes up next in vinyl collecting. Thank you for watching. Let me know about yours in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you later. This is the first time I've done like a full video on TikTok, but I hope you enjoyed it.